strong as can be. The world number 2, determined in a rivalry that has defined this generation of women's table tennis. The 2021 world champion, a woman who's taken many titles in the WTT era, stands behind only one other woman in the world order.
From China, YINGSHA!
And that woman is here. She's been 3 years plus world number 1. She's taken more titles than anybody in the WTT era. She is cool, she is calm, she is strong through the legs, as swift as can be. She is YINGSHA. This is a best of 7 battle. The first player to win 4 games to 11 must win by 2. Will be the champion of the WTT champions MACAO. So in their WTT head-to-head, SHATOU of the coin toss for the women's singles final to determine where the players stand and who serves. No coaches on benches. We've seen 4-0s both ways between these two. We've seen deciders. We don't know what we're going to get here today.
Red or blue? Red for 1. Red. Receive. You're serving. This side.
There have been lines around the building. This is the big hype moment every time YINGSHA plays. The question is, will anyone be able to stop her? Wang MANYU's been able to do it before. We've seen the score lines. Both 60,000 US dollars to the champion. Fan vote 59% behind YINGSHA. That's not a bad representation. 41%. Cast your votes at worldtabletennis.com or the WTT app. You don't have a lot of time before the men's final. Make sure you get that vote in.
First game, Sun to serve, level.
So here we go. Buckle up. The ride is about to begin. It's a best of 7. World number 1, YINGSHA to start with the serves. Love all. Testing waters out here, you can feel it. Right now it's a little bit of a cautious, just sort of stepping forward to see what the opponent does to what you leave on the table. But a solid serve earns a third ball attack, and it's a flip kill. SHATOU putting it away.
Yeah, complete juxtaposition there from YINGSHA. A very quick floaty serve. And look what she does to it. Instant punishment.
It's funny, even with heavy side spin, if there's not as much of anything else on it, you misread. That's what can happen. So whether it's a float serve or simply an axis of rotation that's unrecognizable, there are a lot of ways to deceive the receiver. Wang MANYU is able to break one serve. And the same is given back, so they're 2-2, but she's not afraid to step around and play some power. She looked quite powerful throughout this week, Wang MANYU.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Wang MANYU's power here, particularly with the forehand. Went for a few big kill finishes against Chen Qintong before managing to win in 6. But a toughest match here against Tina Hayata. She was 2-1 down in a best of 5.
Now talk to us a little bit about some of the differences between Wang MANYU and YINGSHA.
YINGSHA, I'd say, has the lower centre of gravity. She's the more compact, I'd say, more powerful player overall. But Wang MANYU, incredibly quick player over the table. Oh my goodness, down the line across the body. Seatbelt shot from SHATOU.
Speaking of speed, right here, the adjustments. Wow. It was as if you could see in the replay, Wang MANYU knew where her opponent was moving and said, I'm going to make it as uncomfortable as I possibly can, yet still SHATOU found her way to get over that.
And that was one of the toughest shots to try and play against that receive as well. Crazy shot from YINGSHA.
So 3 in a row for SHATOU. That was fascinating. That was like a strict teacher on the first day of school. Class got silent.
Yeah, very quickly as well.
I was hesitant to speak at all in that moment, my goodness. It's unbelievable. For one moment, after all these Just super powerful shots from Wang Manyu on both wings. The second it comes back slightly softer, SHATOU jumps in and finishes the point.
That was a cold finish there from YINGSHA. She's got incredible wingspan, Wang Manyu. We saw there how she could abbreviate her stroke to counter, managing to protect the crossover there as well with a bit of a fade, but YINGSHA, with all that racket speed and power, what a finish.
6-3.
Good combination, second shot to the deep backhand here as Wang Manyu brings in SHATOU and then tests the in and out game and the footwork.
Makes you wonder how much of it is a confidence thing and how much of it is just the fact that YINGSHA is a slightly stronger player. Incredible.
Yeah, it is interesting to memory. Of course, WTT, the main marquee events. So 90% win rate against the world number 2. Quite a distance in front of the rest of the world.
4-7.
Help off the net. You can hear the tick there on the way over, the change rhythm. The gasp back and forth, the little exhales as they had to stretch to the wide backhands in this speedy pace.
Another example of kind of testing the waters, both biding their time, not being passive but being controlled, and then eventually an injection of pace there into that hip.
There's such fine margins that even though these shots might look exactly the same, they're constantly moving targets, just checking to see if the other one tips the scale, if they get the other one to turn. In the end, Wang Manyu did to YINGSHA. Cracking power with the backhand when she decides. It's amazing the consistency that SHATOU has in these high-pressure moments.
I mean, she's known as a more forehand-orientated player, but the backhand here, a rocket backhand from YINGSHA, mind-blowingly good.
Table, even Wang Manyu with her wingspan and her footsteps, it's just so much ground to cover, and with a clever, fast SHATOU, this is what happens. Gets her leaning for a moment. As soon as the weight goes onto that left leg, there's an opening, and SHATOU sniffs it out. Clever flip. I was impressed that didn't immediately win the point, or at least set up a kill shot, but SHATOU, watch how she recovers this flick. Moving back, turns sideways, sends it to the back of the table on the backhand side, and it sets up 5 game points. Extra power, good speed to save this one.
We've seen a few times here the server trying to bait the opponent to flip, and the receiver's been able to touch or push, and that's actually helped the receiver there. Talk about investing in the speed and spin game and then paying the price for not recovering quickly enough. That's going to be a reoccurring theme in this final.
Good down the line parallel backhand as Wang Manyu escapes and saves another game point. Still has a ways to climb in this uphill battle, which is game 1.
Did well there to recover the net cord, Wang Manyu.
Well, now, both serves, the points before it, or point before it, so that's 3 in a row for Wang Manyu. Despite some long serves, taking some chances out here, Wang Manyu's making it really tough for the most dominant woman in the game right now to cross this finish line. Serves back with Wang Manyu should she get through the first. Keeping that hand cool for the grip, the control. Kicking shovel serve, and SHATOU turns the corner and takes it to the bank. Game number 1 in the pocket, so investments, payments aside, it's a 1-0 lead, and she is off to a good start up here in the business world. That is a $60,000 or $30,000 prize money match right now.
Second game, Wang to serve, level.
Back for game two, Wang MANYU with some momentum, taking back and saving many game points. The grunts don't stop, and the finishing shot is cross-court, testing each other. There is some serious footwork in this. Talk about movement, extension. This rally, one of the best yet, if not the.
Yeah, I agree, Adam. That was just top draw there. Wang MANYU so quickly turning the tables. Fully extended after that SHATOU switch. Incredible athleticism.
Oh! How does it take this many to win a point? As soon as MANYU hit it to the backhand side of SHATOU in this rally, it looked like it would have been over right there. But SHATOU has the answer time and time again. Quick! That finishing backhand from MANYU.
Dangerous long serve. Wang MANYU attacks, and it comes back again with interest off of that SHATOU backhand. Oh, apologises there, yeah. Didn't see that it clipped the net.
Soft hands, leaving it short on the forehand side in an uncomfortable place. It even makes it more uncomfortable that Wang MANYU's perfectly in position should the ball come back cross court. This is crazy to me. Wang MANYU's head gets so low after that first forehand. There it was. That's the one where she popped right back up. She went out of frame for a minute, and still she's finding these little windows of opportunity to race through just past on the forehand.
It's a tough serve to touch that one. The shovel action coming in there. Wang MANYU's more signature serve. You usually see the pendulum from SHATOU. It's tough to touch a ball that's been contacted like that, because it could easily be topspin. You've got to really read it. You've got to watch that contact point. It's probably the most popular serve right now in the women's game, this shovel.
But here a pendulum and some consistent power as YINGSHA stays on top of the bounce.
I was expecting to see Wang MANYU being the more dominant player with the backhand, but YINGSHA playing backhands from another planet here. So much acceleration. So it's not too obvious really what you can do if you're Wang MANYU. And she knows SHATOU well.
And another backhand to add to that tally list here. That check. 3 in a row from down 1-4. Remember, it's a best of 7, and there are no coaches on benches because both players are playing for the same national team. Coaches tend to stay uninvolved when that happens since the semifinals in the women's draw. It's unbelievable. Again, we see this backhand speed. You ask anybody in the world what's SHATOU's best shot, 9 times out of 10, like her head-to-head in WTT versus Wang MANYU, they're going to highlight the forehand. But it seems that she's just juiced up that backhand a notch because it is unstoppable right now. What are you thinking, Fraser?
Just thinking about SHATOU's dominance in the sport right now, and I'm thinking what it's going to take to stop her. I mean, Quite Man, the world number 4 in that semi-final, played some pretty good table tennis, but got outclassed in the end. In their last meeting, in the final of the Europe smash, it was 4-2 to YINGSHA. So Wang MANYU wants to at least do that again. It should be hungry for revenge.
5-6.
It's funny, I was thinking something similar about SHATOU. Usually, the players come in pairs. They come up through Team China, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I think motivation just to keep leveling up, to fuel each other, like Alexi and Felix, like Jorgen and Janove.
Yeah.
Just need that extra push. Oh, the cross redirection, SHATOU. This is only to level the playing field. In the women's game, even within Team China, it's the same. Wang MANYU, YINGSHA, Zhu Yuling and Chen Meng, Liu Shiwen and Ding Ning. Just so many. Wang Nan, Zhang Yiming. It goes on and on. Cycles, two that lead. But now it feels a little bit that one is standing out, and then they're sort of fighting after that. But Wang Manyu is still stood above the rest. From Chen Xingtong to Wang Yidi to Kuai Man, she's here more often than the rest.
Seven, six.
Extra strength on this. The forehand a little longer stroke from Wang Manyu as she pulls it wide. Quick combination, one to the middle half long and then deep to the backhand corner. Shasha, as you mentioned, has returned a lot of these with interest. They are very high pressure shots, not easy to deliver time and time again, especially with the quality Wang Manyu's bringing.
Yeah. Well, there, clever combination from Sun YINGSHA. Half long service. Wang Manyu tries to brush it. Adapts there, Wang Manyu. She didn't know it was going to come long initially and pays the price. Again, that relentless backhand. Waxing lyrical about it at the moment.
Bit of extra spin, hot to handle. Shasha levels it once again. I just think to myself, in terms of context, we know it's the biggest honor to represent China in table tennis. This has been the sport that, in some senses, brought China into the rest of the world. They befriended everybody. It opened the doors. The sport that has shown the world the excellence that China has. The back end of the table here. But in moments like this, what would it mean? The motivation. Wang Manyu, anything she could do to get the best performance out here. It's essentially a different pressure. It's all up to the players at this point. When you're playing someone wearing any other flag, there's punishment waiting if you don't win. It's a big deal. Here, this is an individual basis. And for such a communal team and say culture, it is interesting to see. But it's a chance for them to really shine, to show where that extra work, the extra time put in, homework at night, whatever it may be, extra days in the weight room, focus. I'm always curious about the round before this, how much it affects the players as they come into the final.
When you think that these two have shared the training hall, shared the stage for so long, it makes it even more impressive that Xia Xiao's managed to win as many matches against Wang Manyu as she has, in a row, especially. Oh, but a chance here for the world number 2. There was always a chance, but this is one that she has to really try and take.
Despite us playing in China right now, home court advantage is a traveling portable Xia fan club. Wang Manyu's got her fair share of fans here as well, but she's playing against home court advantage for the world number 1. Xia saves game point. We go to alternating serves. It is deuce in game number 2.
As cool as you like from Sun YINGSHA. She knows exactly when she doesn't need to attack as well. See them watching on there, Marlin, at the top of your screen. Xu Yi, Chen Yi, Wang Yidi, Kuai Man. Don't recognise some of the other ones, but I imagine they're either sparring partners or youth players.
There's that extra acceleration from the middle, taking the opportunity all the way to the bank. That leap forward gets the body behind it. Here's the spin. Cover. Now she moves forward. Really had to reach out for that, using that wingspan in the forward sense to take it that much earlier, and it pays off. Game point, second time, Wang Manyu. Oh, that backhand blistering right to the baseline, and it bounces so fast over the racket.
Light speed. Laser focused. My goodness, we've seen top edges that haven't been as powerful as that.
So low, low to the net. That had everything. Quality, can't ask for a better backhand, and it just saves a game point. And now she sits on another game point. It's tough. You need what you can get whenever you have an opportunity to take it. Trying to shake out any tension here. You can imagine there's plenty of it from Wang Manyu. Playing incredibly well every other point. You lose, I'd say, the advantage. You just have that risk that there's a net or an edge or Xia turns it up just a bit. Sizing up the opponent to decide her serve. She's got game point.
12-all.
Nice Chiquita.
Yeah, not so much topspin on it, coming around the side of the ball, MANYU, and it just goes right to the bottom of the net there off Sun Yingsha's racket. Good placement as well on that one, and a brave shot to take, especially given the fact that Sun Yingsha's managed to play the opening after MANYU has flicked in this game.
Yeah, that was quite an early commitment. She got in nice and fast, turned the racket down. Oh, the break! What a cover! The receive, you could feel from this angle the height on it, but the placement forced MANYU to let it drop a little bit, stay on the defense. And the time she saves with that gets her prepared for the flick. The break sets up yet another game point. Third game point, MANYU. The big forehand into the middle, and SHATOU sends it back once more. We've seen some long games. Remember, it's first to 11, must win by 2. There's no limit on how many points. Good cover of the middle there, short stroke from right in near the rib cage, SHATOU. Well now,
14.
this is untouched. Proof, double stamped mint, condition serve. The drop right after, I love it. Little bit of deception on serve to set up a fourth game point. MANYU. The coach might have called a timeout. Oh, what a combination, deep as can be on the cross court, and the follow-up right down the line. It took 2 incredible shots in a row, and they were uncatchable. The second one, get ready, big step around, short recoil, and just inside the line. Oh, the satisfaction. You can see the core crunch as she clinches the fist and captures game number 2. We're tied up at 1 game apiece. Man, is this final off to an interesting start.
Third game, Sun to serve, Lovell.
Back for game number 3, the most dominant woman in the game. Got narrowly beaten in the last. Back and forth they go. She starts here, SHATOU.
Love
Little split step and a bit of a net here to save. MANYU.
Let's see how MANYU does now, because so far at this event, well, all the way up to the final, whenever SHATOU has dropped a game, she hasn't dropped another after that. That's the kind of player she is. It's normally the kind of player MANYU is as well, but, well, SHATOU seems to be the more clinical player at the moment.
Lit. 1-all.
Oh, good save. The soft hands. For the second time in this game, a little fortune goes MANYU's way, but keeping it cool under pressure. Elsa over here on the SHATOU side. Check it out. Under the table, keeps it nice and low to the net. What spin was on it? Well, tough to tell. MANYU had a lot to control.
Outstanding forehand there from Sun Yingsha. I think in the point before, MANYU ended up a little bit too close to the ball. She was surprised by the depth of Sun Yingsha after that net cord.
I think after having seen Lin Shadong play 2 rollers off similar shots, she wanted to make sure she didn't allow a second bounce potentially.
Yeah.
When the ball's wide enough, you don't have to hit it over the net. This is interesting. The step when SHATOU goes inside out. She played earlier today, but I'm still having memories back to the Adriana Diaz match and how SHATOU looked uncomfortable with the shots coming in. Again, if you ever see SHATOU looking uncomfortable, that is massive respect to the opponent. want it so bad, you work so hard to get an opportunity, but there's not as much time. The ball doesn't reach you before SHATOU gets it. That's an issue. You know that you're playing the ball, but you're also playing to the opponent's positioning. Imagine that. You see an opening, but the ball hasn't reached you yet. A lot of motivation here. Only one of those W's is going to stand for winner. Don't get me wrong, they've won all their matches, but in this final match, in the first towel break, it's YINGSHA on top by 2.
Lit. 2-4.
Almost brings it back over. That flick, so impressive that the rally continues.
Again, yeah, unbelievable. You can't hit a forehand flick any better than this. Perfect technique, comes back, SHATOU still recovers, and she still manages, under that pressure, to find a crossover. How are you even thinking about that in real time, with such little time?
I've got an analogy for you.
What's that, mate?
You drive a car?
I don't, not yet.
Okay.
Learning.
When most people learn to drive a car, the idea of focusing on anything other than the road and the steering wheel is crazy. Touch the radio, forget it. Taking the keys away.
Yeah.
Later on in life, drive with your knees, change radio. I mean, I'm not recommending it, but I'm just saying it becomes second nature. And for SHATOU, there's so many things that are second nature to her now. Oh!
6-3.
Well handled there as MANYU handles a blast from behind the table and guides it back. You don't see SHATOU that far behind the table that often. Sent on a chase. She doesn't get passive. But smart slowdown there by MANYU.
You're right in what you're saying, Adam. The training's doing the talking. The technique is so good that they can act upon instinct. That's how they can play so decisively.
Sort of like when you don't have to think about it anymore. It's one less thing on your to-do list. It just naturally happens.
Yeah, there is no how do I do this. It's just I'll do this.
Right. This is how progress works. You train something into your muscle memory, it becomes a habit, then you add something new and you just keep polishing the game and adding on. But the quality on this one, tip low on that backhand. SHATOU dips low to get in and drive it deep to the backhand. This cross-court opening pressure this early in the points. When you think about the serves and the quality, it puts extra pressure on MANYU, which is why she turns.
Goodness me, I can't recall the last time I've seen a player backhand serve.
MANYU anyway, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So 4-point lead at the second towel break. Just a reminder, this is the final match in the women's singles event. 16 titles for YINGSHA. You said it earlier, anytime someone has taken a game, she hasn't allowed another offer. Still early in this match, and there's been a winning side. SHATOU's on it right now.
You mentioned the 16 titles, Adam. In terms of total senior titles, currently at 26, SHATOU. 24.
She's 24 years old, not even 25 yet. Oh, the turn. One step in a racket high, she redirects traffic right through the open lane on the forehand side of MANYU. When you know combinations, 6 of the last 8, you can just take control, the momentum. MANYU needed that point. Game number 1, she was down 5-10 and won 3 points in a row. It wasn't enough. The happy feet of SHATOU is becoming more of a habit. I've seen it more than I remember.
On receive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Me too. Something cute about it.
It's almost like a kid in an arcade. Maybe it's like a Mario shuffle. Maybe that's what inspired her. She loves Mario. 3 game points saved, MANYU.
Those 2 forehand flicks will feel really good after what SHATOU's been able to do.
10-7.
The combination, the first one a quality spin and then a rip to follow. I always wonder what's going on in the heads. I have my guesses from time to time, but there's a reason she's so far ahead of the rest of the world. And these players are just beyond what you can imagine. When you see them against each other, it's tough to appreciate. streak continues. 5 points in a row. She won last game 15-13. What are you thinking?
This kind of feels similar to game one. A late flourish from MANYU.
Yeah, started 1 point farther behind, but very similar indeed. When it feels like it's over, if you ever wonder, does a player just want to say, let's just get on with the next game? I think if there's a chance to take the game you're in now, why let it slip? Worst case scenario, you remind the opponent that you're dangerous, that you're serious, and you add pressure. Perfect combination. We've seen this pattern before. Wang MANYU earned her opportunity to get SHATOU off the table. Right here. And she waits patiently in that backhand corner to play it down the line.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And she's really paddling it on now. Oh, timeout time.
So SHATOU
Timeout.
will sit down and think this one through. It's a receive for YINGSHA.
You can borrow these if you want.
I appreciate it. Fraser just offered me his prescription glasses. Okay, well, back from the timeout. No one out here needing prescription glasses. Although Wang MANYU does love to read.
9-10.
But she won't be reading spin on serve. That'll be up to SHATOU here, the receiver, back from her timeout. With 5 points played against her, 5 game points saved before this. Short receive and the forehand flick, the fourth ball. The timeout has been cashed in after all that drama. A quick 1 minute break, a little bit. SHATOU socially distanced and then some. If she wins here, well, it'll continue to stretch that gap.
Last one.
I think that she might have to try and make this a more forehand orientated match. I don't think she wants to be playing backhands too much. I don't think she wants to be even trying to protect any kind of crossover section with her backhand. She needs to try and finish the point as soon as possible, I feel.
Good pressure, relatively deep in her rally, surviving, keeping her position well. She did this in the late parts of last game. After all, she's got more momentum right now than SHATOU. From 4-10 down, won 5 in a row, then just one for SHATOU, and here they're split.
Split. 1-all. No flash, please. 1-all.
What are your thoughts, Fraser?
I'm liking that pickup there from Wang MANYU. No real surprises on the faces there. I feel like this is a bit of a ticking time bomb, this final, even though we've seen some amazing rallies and shots and plays. This one, for me, has all the potential to go the distance.
Yep, they definitely are the great rivalry of this generation. Curious how many times, second to last time they played, they went to a decider. It's happened quite a bit over the years. Not quite 50-50, but here, this is way up at 90, the percentage speed and power on this. One soft spin, and then the timing. Took it off the bounce, shovel serve. Got a slightly passive shot from SHATOU. Knew she could jump on it.
I think it's always good to consider the motive and the, you know, what it would mean for the two players. And MANYU, as the world number 2, hasn't won a WTT series event this season. That's rare.
I should be grounded. All right, here we go. 2 serving 4.
I've got an argument for you.
Late.
Diamonds are rare, but they're not unusual in Macau.
2-4.
Well, you got specific. You said in Macau the second time. That doesn't count. Nice try.
3-4.
Tightening up the score line here. SHATOU back within 1. We've seen leads. They've gone back and forth here. The biggest lead, the 10-4 last game. That's the biggest one I recall. Next thing you know, it was a 1-point ball game and a timeout was called. MANYU still has hers if she should need it. Would like to be able to save that for later in the match.
Guided flick that time into the crossover. Haven't heard the YINGSHA fans this loud in a while.
Well, here's a moment for you to take note of. I don't think it's the first time, but it has been rare. The forehand flick not coming down. Again, a big part of that is the awareness of where the opponent stands on the other side of the table. Am I up too much? Is it going to come back to the baseline? Will I have time to get back down? Will it put pressure on? Will it set up the point the way I want? Oh, the power. That sound is so sweet. And there's still topspin on it, but there's a lot of forward motion.
Yeah, perfect technique. She's low. She meets the ball at exactly the right point. Clever combination, long surprise factor serve to middle. MANYU, and she's quite surprised, plays the safest option there, and YINGSHA playing the backhand from middle, nudging it out wide. Lovely.
Tight serve to the forehand side. MANYU takes her chances, moving over for the Chiquita. The backhand on the forehand side. And she tries to go the other way instead of Chiquita. Tries to play it to the wide forehand. Gets there early. Has some options, but SHATOU immediately moving with the ball in terms of covering herself to make sure she's not exposed.
And that rushed MANYU, and it made her want to play with too much power from where she was.
Another look here at a rally that earns a roar. Rip of a forehand. One more time. And then even wider. Oh, it's so cool that she can just pull the ball. What a dream to be able to do whatever you want to a ball in any given moment. You're playing one of the top 2 players in the world. But we saw the standings and the points. That is fast. Dropping low. A little bit of fortune, whatever it may have been. She offers a quick apology, but man, was that a surprising shot.
That's mind-boggling. That's line blurring. To even try and take that on from a fairly low point off of such a spinny ball, margin for error there close to 0. But she masters those.
You were talking about the distance. 8 times out of 26 times they've played, it's come down to the decider.
Okay. It's quite regularly. But that was
fairly often, you could say.
Most of those, I guess, were before the birth of WTT. I'm
Correct.
guessing, yeah.
Oh, break off the net. And at least not during. So if it was during the time, they were at other events, say ITTF events.
Yeah.
See how much this changes the timing. SHATOU was already up and moving for that ball to the backhand. Crucial moments here. Nice idea, the push to the backhand. Wang Manyu did not go cross court and she was taken out wide. And then she was in control. Again, just over 30% of the time they go to the decider when they play. The last grunt didn't reach the ball. 2 game points here as Wang Manyu at the 3rd towel break has the last grunt in that point, at least successfully. I like it when they start. It's almost like they're shaking hands. They're saying, okay, you want to go? Let's do this. The grunt battle begins. I'm not going to let you down. You're turning it up. Me too.
The gloves are off.
Yeah. Deep serve for an outright service point. Saves 1.
I was wrong because I didn't think that Wang Manyu would be able to impose herself as much as she's been able to here with the backhand. But I think that the way that she's opened the point with the push has really, really helped.
Well, let's see what she chooses to do here on receive. And a timeout now. I was wondering, you probably saw me looking down there a minute ago. As soon as it became 9-10, I thought this is a crucial moment in this match for Wang Manyu. Can she come back from 1 minute of solitary? This event. Frankfurt, not too shabby. It's going to be coming up not too long. We've got 2 more champions events following the China Smash. My goodness, this is the time. This is the part of the year where table tennis fans are like, I'm calling in sick for work for 2 months. Nobody on their deathbed regrets that they didn't work hard enough. Enjoy. Here we go.
Please. 9, 10.
Serving 10. Wow, wow. Brains, 2 soft shots, the push and the slow spin. And then from behind the table, rocket shot, a change of pattern. Check this out, soft 1, soft spin, crack. And the timeout has been cashed in on both sides. Top 2 in the world. Wang Manyu's been incredible, the world champion in 2021, but has not yet been world number 1.
Level.
I assume they're not because the QR code was on screen. That'd be funny if an ad came up that's like, oh, by the way, it's sold out. But watch it here.
Yeah, please come along to that.
Love 1.
It'll be my first time. I'm excited. I watched it online last year, and it was just electric. The best atmosphere I've ever seen, and it wasn't in China.
Yeah.
Good time right now for French table tennis. Oh, love it. This one right here, I could watch in slow motion over and over. Silhouettes, black and white. I hope somebody clips it and does a nice montage of every different way they could show this, how low she gets.
Oh my goodness, her right knee scraped the floor. You could hear the screech at the feet. When she pulled out her weight from beneath herself. What a shot. What a counter. What a start.
Slavic squats. Do whatever you can to keep those hips ready to twist, turn, and get yourself agile. For moments like this, Wang Manyu off to a wonderful start. Remember, both timeouts have been pulled.
Let 3, love.
Color idea, confident to go for this shot. She's made tougher. Wasn't easy, but soft hands as YINGSHA protects and gets her first point this game. I like this. Again, it's not just the shot itself, but where you are for the shot coming back. Wang Manyu makes a quality shot, but leaves SHATOU very little option for where to go. If she doesn't choose to open up to the forehand, she tries for the wide ball, and there's no table there.
I feel like SHATOU has to try and get more balls into the forehand of Wang Manyu. I feel like Wang Manyu's covered that middle and backhand so well, having improved that from the start of the last game. I don't know, it feels like we haven't seen SHATOU's forehand into that forehand very much, and it feels like we've seen her stick to that pendulum serve from backhand half. Could we see some alterations there, perhaps?
Well, she used the serve well to set up a 3rd ball attack in that rally. had her pickings for where to go.
Let 4-2.
Well, you got your wish twice in a row, and Wang Manyu had the answer here. Not to say that it's always a question of timing, right? What's the right shot? Well, you need context. Had to pull the right foot back on the first to make space for that backswing. Wang Manyu perfectly in position.
2-6.
I just feel like sustainably that's where Sun Ying-sha wants to be playing, but Wang Manyu managing to handcuff her. This shovel serve again, a recipe for success, but the push has been so aggressive, so precise.
There it is, a successful forehand flick to follow, short rally. For a while it felt like, at least when we talked about it, this is what Wang Manyu would have to do. I think any opportunity, clearly for either of them, when they see a good opportunity to spring and try to capture, they will.
Let
Probably just a crowd member calling out a flash in the interest of the players. Ooh! For the briefest of moments, I got distracted by Wang Manyu's posture. After that shot, I don't know if she stood up straighter than usual, but it looked like she was out of the point in a weird way.
It felt like she came up with the shot. Maybe thinking it was going to go long or something,
That's
and then
how
it didn't.
Right, exactly. No, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
That can be distracting. From time to time, you'll see a player do that. Who was it that we saw duck under the table yesterday? Not hold up the racket?
Let's see. I can't remember now. Odo? No.
That's right, it was. Good call.
Yeah.
So 12 of the last 16 points before this were Wang Manyu's. Well, now, we have to remember from the start of this game, Sun Ying-sha's on the side that hasn't lost yet. Wang Manyu wins this game. She's one game away from taking the title.
She could have easily gone 2-0 down as well. She was 1-0 down and game point down.
Looking smooth right now. She's got the score that SHATOU had last game before she won 5 points in a row, Wang Manyu. 6 game points for a 3-2 lead. A little wealth on the leg, it's a fair trade. SHATOU will take that 5 more times if she can. 5 game points left. And there it is, it's a 3-2 lead. Wang Manyu is 1 game away from taking down Her Majesty, Royal Highness, Lady SHATOU, Baby Buddha. But it's not over. She's been described as the mentally toughest player in the game. Ice in the veins, but right. Bruna Takahashi will be playing the men's singles final. Nope, the guy on the other side of the table, Hugo Calderano, the thrill from Brazil. Man, chop block attempted and stretching it out. Lieutenant Dan, nope, it's Wang CHUQIN stretching it out and keeping his hips ready. He's always stretching when we see him in the warm-up hall, doing a little butterfly there. A man who knows he needs to stay flexible when he pounces. That's the men's singles final. It'll be following this. The world's been waiting for it. Brazil versus China, not the first time in modern history.
Level.
So here we go, game number 6. It's a must-win for SHATOU. Wang Manyu wins this, she takes the title.
1 love.
It's a good double serve, short.
Now the pressure's piling on Sun Ying-sha, and the noise in the Infinity Arena is getting louder and louder. She's managed to strike a few chords of concern here, Wang Manyu. Looking for first WTT title of the year in singles.
Love 2.
A little fortune, and with that she capitalizes. Getting the fortune is one part, it might be the first step, but being ready for when the luck comes, that's where the preparation pays off. Good placement back into the middle. SHATOU gets her first point in this must-win game number 6.
Good reaction, the depth, the trajectory key there as well as the placement. MANYU sometimes getting caught a little bit too close to the table. Tougher to really distance herself in the right way as someone who's a little bit taller and as someone who's got longer levers. That push, the perfect shutdown.
Clever idea. MANYU goes inside out with that forehand as she just showed us after the point. Just to try and buy herself a little bit of time. That one, very unusual shot, rare even. And in the rally, the backhand to that forehand side, it was just SHATOU who took control when the ball slowed down.
Four points in a row here from YINGSHA.
Not a bad turnaround to come into the towel break. She was down 0-2. Remember, just over 30% of the time, they send it to a decider. Score-wise, YINGSHA double the fish of MANYU.
Nice forehand kill there from Wang. Bit of respite there after that streak from SHATOU.
There it is, the sound. It is the highest clicking sound, that forehand flick. SHATOU up by 2 once again, soft hands. Serve doesn't appear to have a lot of spin, and she follows it quickly as soon as she realizes it's an open racket that's not going to come through the ball. Power and placement pays off. Nice change of pace as YINGSHA slows it down with MANYU behind the table.
She looks at her racket, the ball didn't fully get the traction she was looking for there, but it was a well-placed ball.
Very shallow on the table. It almost seemed as if it came off the back of the net there. Tough to tell. Regardless, 2 points up, SHATOU. In the flow right now. MANYU just moving, holding nothing back as soon as the ball comes along.
And the longer this goes on, the more you fancy YINGSHA here. She's strolled to the towel box. Be interesting to have a look at the record in deciders whenever they've gone there.
The interesting thing is we get that stat should they go to a decider, but it's not against each other. We can figure that out ourselves. We've got a match to watch. The pace you can see down here. Another look, another perspective as MANYU drives it home.
The eel, as they call her, electric there.
Mainly because MANYU sounds a lot like eel in Mandarin. She can't slither past YINGSHA in this game. Trying to stay loose and eel-like. Touch play and the long push idea carries a bit long for the table. MANYU has come back from much greater deficits than this before. There's a humility in MANYU's face. It's so interesting to see the body language between these two. And body language or not, YINGSHA coolly comes back with a plan, and much like her timeout when she was up 10-9 after many points taken against, a serve comes out here and is very effective.
Can't tell whether MANYU's flicking earlier than she knows she should, or whether she's just a little bit nervous right now. but struggling to open with the guide flick and there the backhand flick.
And it is 3 game points to send this to the final and deciding game of game number 7. 8 times before they've been in the decider. The last 3 SHATOU's won, but we're not there yet. Wang MANYU with a big serve here. Long, fast kicker to the backhand. The shovel serve earns an outright point. 1 game point saved. 3rd towel break. SHATOU's been effective on the serves. She's got 2 should she need the second one. Save with the spin, forehand. You might have been getting ready for a decider. It's still very possible, but all it takes is a little shift in confidence here. 1 more point for Wang MANYU, and suddenly, game number 7 is no longer a guarantee. But now it is SHATOU with the forehand flick. And we are going to the D, to the side, to the dirt. Game number 7. Pack your snacks and healthy beverages and tell your friends what they need to be watching if they're not already. The final game in the women's singles draw to determine the champion in the great rivalry of our generation. YINGSHA, world number 1.
Both of these players very, very good in the deciding game. And look at SHATOU's then, nearly 80%, Adam.
78% in the decider to 67. So 2/3 of the time, Wang MANYU wins. SHATOU, almost 4 out of 5. More than 3 out of every 4.
Sun to serve. Level.
So here we go. Final game of the decider to determine the champion. Oh, back edge of the table for SHATOU after an awkwardly spinning ball.
So this is the same kind of score as the World Championship final. YINGSHA preventing Wang MANYU from winning her second. First place finish there. And winning her second in the process. What a final this has been. And what a forehand from YINGSHA. The odds stacked in her favour. Ever know.
2-all.
Float serve, SHATOU pushing it, heavy spin shot. Look at that. Last 32 points. Dead even.
Oh, big backhand from a step behind the table. Wang MANYU showing that she's still got the grit, the pressure turned up a notch. 1 soft shot, and that's enough. Right back into control, and on the reach, springs into that one. Ball wasn't even in what you might call a sweet spot, but she makes it her own sweet spot. She expands said sweet spot. Continued pressure here. SHATOU going where you want that wide forehand. Not from very far on the forehand side, but a step around here to put the pressure on.
She wasn't too affected by the change of pace. Good blocking from Wang MANYU, focusing on what she can control, the world number 1.
Started with the step around, the follow-up was across court. By the way, in the midst of watching this match, I might have miscounted. It might actually be 10 times that they've gone to the decider.
Okay.
And if that's accurate, 40% of the time Wang MANYU is won. One fishing shot in the next spin, she says. Keep going, stay in it. No need to get passive. That one right there. Interesting.
Seemed like a bit of a miscontact, but
could have been a misread on my part in the game of charades.
talking about the backhand. Shallow one.
Ah. Right back down the line. They will switch sides here with SHATOU up by 2. Some momentum here. Patterns have been changing throughout. In terms of who wins games, in terms of where shots are going. He had a lot of backhand-to-backhand rallies early on. You don't have to think back. It feels like it was an hour ago, and it might have been at this point. The first point of this match. That whole testing phase, they're done with that. Jeez, man. If testing is like training, they are in the full heat of battle right now. This is where adrenaline kicks in. The reserve tank. 1 point ball game is Wang MANYU. It's just on the tail of SHATOU. Oh, the change of pace slows it down. Wang MANYU takes spin off this ball. Watch one more time. Net recovery, long push, awkward ball, shallow inside the table. Completely changing the timing. Clever play. SHATOU telling her, you got some sweat on the racket? That's nice. We've seen this serve cause outright points before. Not quite as deep to the backhand this time, but watch how fast the feet are. SHATOU turns and says, I want a full stroke and I want to get on top of this. Yeah,
once bitten, twice shy. Crystal clear, no hesitation. I was just trying to see on that slow-mo replay a bit of an indication. Couldn't see an obvious one that was going to go long, but what a read.
Whoa, leaves the whole table open, but enough quality on it, and the forehand flick sets up a 2-point lead. SHATOU at the second towel break. Soft touch, up in the air, lost some balance there, but you could see the leg muscle on the left leg alone while she was standing on 1 foot. When the shot's quality enough, sometimes the recovery is not a question. She's trying to stretch out here. Keep all her energy, avoid cramping or tightening up. Wang MANYU. Even with all the spin coming in, net recovery forehand win out of SHATOU, out of reach past the wingspan of Wang MANYU.
Completely unbothered by that net cord. A decent flick from Wang MANYU. 6 of the last 8 points to YINGSHA. She's so close here to winning her 3rd WTT Champions Macao title.
You can hear the nerves and the tension in the room. The ball touches the net, and it's like a funny bone for some of the seats in the crowd. 4 points in front. After what, 5 all?
Yeah.
So 4 in a row. SHATOU just 2 points away from her 17th WTT title. The defending champ edging closer. And now it is championship points. Wang MANYU serving. She's got a long way to go. No timeouts left. The trophies await.
10-6.
Championship point saved. A step in the right direction. She's had several moments to come back. She was down 5-10. Came back to 8. She was down 4-10. Came back to 9. Okay, 5-10 again to 6-10. We've seen how they play in deciders. Their stats. SHATOU takes care of business. Her Royal Highness has captured the title once again. World number 1, continuing to distance herself from the rest of the world. Lady SHATOU reigns supreme, and the crowd loves it. Game number 7, she was down 2-3 after being beaten 11-5, and that was enough. When the going gets tough, SHATOU turns up the next level. Scores on screen: 11-9 in the 6th, 11-6 in the 7th.